All right, so let's jump right in. We're diving into crypto today, specifically Coinbase.
Okay.
You know, imagine buying and selling digital currencies like it's just like ordering an Uber or, grabbing takeout, like that easy, that seamless. That was the vision behind Coinbase.
Hmm.
But instead of getting you from, point A to point B, they're all about Bitcoin, Ethereum, all those digital assets.
Yeah.
Think of them as the stock market, but, for cryptocurrency.
Right.
So we got two sources today for this deep dive. One's a deep dive into Coinbase's financials, and some of these numbers, woof, blew me away.
Oh, yeah.
The other, it's breaking news about a major SEC lawsuit against them being dropped.
Oh, wow. A lot to unpack then.
Yeah, a lot to unpack. So first, this analysis, it says Coinbase, over $2.5 billion in profit last year.
Wow.
And they're sitting on a cash pile of almost $4 billion.
Really?
Yeah.
That is a lot of money.
I mean, come on. It's enough to make Scrooge McDuck jealous.
That's true. That's true. Those are staggering numbers. Especially for a company in such a volatile market like crypto.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about an industry where prices can, swing wildly in a matter of hours.
Yeah.
But to put it in perspective, Coinbase's profit margin is comparable to tech giants like Apple, Google, which, they're known for stability. It really shows you just how much crypto has grown and Coinbase's, ability to capitalize on that.
Okay, so you're making bank. But here's where it gets interesting, maybe a little nerve-wracking. Their success seems very closely tied to how much crypto is being traded. It's like they're surfing on this giant wave, and it's unpredictable. When the wave's up, they're riding high. But if it crashes...
Right. Well, that's the risk, right? High stakes, high reward. Coinbase's success, it's directly linked to the market. When people are feeling good about crypto, bullish on it, trading volumes are high, Coinbase is raking it in. But when sentiment turns bearish, prices plummet, profits take a hit. And, this vulnerability, this is at the heart of that SEC lawsuit, which we'll get to.
Okay, yeah, you've piqued my interest. Let's talk about this lawsuit. Sounds like a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it was. It was a showdown. The SEC, the watchdog of Wall Street, they invoiced Coinbase of not playing by the rules. Basically, they said Coinbase was acting like a stock exchange, but without, following the regulations.
So like skipping the line at Disney World, but for, trading digital currency.
Yeah, something like that. So to understand why this was such a big deal, you need to grasp the concept of securities. So a security. In the financial world, it's basically an investment contract. Stocks, bonds, the classic examples. The SEC, they regulate those very carefully because there's a lot of potential for, for fraud, for manipulation.
Right.
The big question in this case was whether some of the cryptocurrencies that Coinbase was letting people trade, should they even be considered securities?
And why does that even matter? How does that, change things?
Well, it matters a lot because how a cryptocurrency is classified determines how it's regulated, who has oversight, and ultimately how much protection investors have. If a cryptocurrency is deemed a security, then platforms like Coinbase, they have to comply with a whole bunch of regulations.
Ah, okay.
Which can be costly and complex.
So it's a whole different rule book for this crypto game.
Exactly. And that's why this lawsuit had the entire crypto world on edge, because it could have set a major precedent for how the industry is regulated here in the U.S.
Okay, so we've got Coinbase, this financial powerhouse, built on the, very unpredictable world of crypto trading.
Yeah.
Facing off against the SEC. And this whole question of, are they playing by the right rules?
That's the setup.
Okay.
Buckle up, because it gets even wilder.
Okay, so we left off with Coinbase in the hot seat, facing this huge lawsuit from the SEC. But then, a twist. The SEC, they just dropped the whole case against Coinbase.
Yep.
No fines, no penalties, nothing.
Just like that.
Wait, seriously? That's that is a huge change. A few months ago, it seemed like, the walls were closing in. What happened? Did the SEC just, decide to become best friends with the crypto world?
Well, not best friends exactly, but there's definitely been a shift politically.
Yep.
New administration, new SEC chair. Suddenly, the winds of change are blowing. It seems like this administration is taking a more, how do I put this, open-minded approach to crypto. And this dropped lawsuit, yeah, I think it's a strong signal of that change.
So does this mean it's just like a free-for-all for crypto now? No rules, no regulations, like a digital gold rush where anything goes?
No, whoa, hold on now.
Okay.
Bro, this is a win for Coinbase. And yeah, it could be a big boost for crypto in general. It doesn't mean, the Wild West is back. That question about how to classify and regulate cryptocurrencies is still unresolved.
So the battle's over, but the war is still raging.
Exactly. Think of it this way. the SEC. They retreated from this particular fight, but they haven't given up. We can expect more legal battles, more debates, more regulatory, back and forth as the government figures out how to handle this rapidly evolving space.
Okay, so for someone like me who's, intrigued by crypto, but still a little hesitant, what does this all mean? Should I be like running out to buy Bitcoin or, hiding all my cash under my mattress?
I'd say neither.
Okay.
I think this dropped lawsuit, it could mean more people start using crypto just because there's less uncertainty, right?
Yeah.
People might feel more confident in investing knowing the SEC isn't, breathing down Coinbase's neck. We could see a surge in, interest activity around cryptocurrency.
Okay. But it's still a risky investment, right? I mean, we just talked about how Coinbase's profits are tied to, how much people are trading crypto.
Of course, of course. The risk is real.
Right.
The value of crypto can, it can swing wildly. And the regulations, well, as we've seen, they're still evolving.
Right.
But for those who, do their research, understand the risks, and maybe don't invest their life savings.
Yeah.
Yeah, the potential rewards could be substantial.
So it's all about like making informed decisions and being cautious.
Exactly. And that brings us back to, crypto is a revolution. This whole Coinbase saga, it highlights something important. This isn't just about, a tech company and some digital coins.
Right.
It's about, the future of finance, how we think about money, how we invest, how we interact with the financial system. It's a revolution in progress. And Coinbase is, they're at the forefront.
And this revolution, like all revolutions, it's messy, unpredictable, full of, surprises.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. We're witnessing the birth of, a new era in finance. And just like, like any birth,
Yeah.
it's going to be a wild ride.
Okay, so before we get, too lost in the big philosophical stuff, let's go back to those financials we were talking about. I was blown away by their profit margin. Over 40%.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, for a company in such a, an unstable industry, it's insane.
It is impressive. It shows they have a really efficient business model. And remember, they're sitting on a ton of cash.
Right.
This gives them a lot of flexibility to, navigate the challenges ahead, investing in new tech, expanding into new markets, or, weathering future storms.
So even with all the uncertainties, it seems like Coinbase is in a pretty strong position. They've got the money, they've got the market share. And now it seems like a more crypto-friendly environment from regulators.
I think that's fair to say. But don't forget the risks. Their revenue, it's still very dependent on trading volume,
Right.
which, as we've said, can be unpredictable. If interest in crypto drops off, profits could take a hit.
So they're still riding that crypto wave, but that's just how it is.
Right. High stakes, high potential.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about Coinbase, the SEC, this whole crypto revolution, but let's bring it back down to earth for regular people.
Sure.
If you're listening to this deep dive, you're fascinated by crypto, but you're not sure what to make of it all. What's the key takeaway?
The biggest takeaway. Crypto is here to stay. It's not a fad. It's a fundamental shift in, how we think about money.
So should everyone go buy Bitcoin right now?
Not necessarily. It's still a risky investment. But it's worth learning about. Understand what crypto is, how it works, the risks, the rewards. Because whether you invest or not, this is a technology that's going to impact you in some way.
It's like learning a new language. Even if you don't plan on, becoming fluent, understanding the basics can be helpful.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe you'll catch the crypto bug and become a digital pioneer yourself.
All right. I think we've covered a lot of ground here. We've looked at Coinbase's financials, their big legal win, and, the big picture implications of all this for finance and beyond. It feels like we've only scratched the surface.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much more to explore in the crypto universe.
There's always more. That's the beauty of it.
Right.
The world of crypto, it's constantly evolving. New tech, new challenges, new opportunities. It's a never-ending journey of discovery.
And we're here to guide you through it all.
One deep dive at a time.
Exactly. But before we go, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
Okay.
We've talked about how crypto could revolutionize finance. But what about its impact on other industries? Healthcare, education, even government. Could this disrupt everything?
That is a fascinating question. And one that deserves, its own deep dive.
Yeah.
The ripple effects of, this crypto revolution are huge. We're only beginning to see how this will all play out.
Welcome back to our deep dive into crypto, where fortunes are made and lost super fast.
Yeah. And the only thing you can count on is change.
Right. Speaking of change, before we took a break, we were talking about crypto's impact beyond just the financial world. We've all heard the hype about blockchain revolutionizing everything, healthcare, voting, like everything. Is it all hype, or is this stuff for real?
I think there's definitely real potential there. Let's take healthcare. One of the biggest problems is, keeping data safe and privacy. Blockchain could, help create a secure system for medical records, and it'd be decentralized.
Hmm.
Patients would have more control over their own data.
So no more lugging around those giant folders of medical records.
Exactly. And it's not just about convenience.
Right.
Think about research. With a secure database, researchers could access, anonymous patient data from all over the world. That could lead to, huge breakthroughs in how we prevent and treat diseases.
Okay, so healthcare. Check. What about education? Can blockchain really change the way we learn?
Oh, it definitely could. Imagine a world where, all your credentials, your diplomas, your certificates, it's all stored on a blockchain.
Hmm.
No more lost transcripts, no more fake degrees.
Applying for jobs or grad school would be so much easier, and it could even, maybe get rid of those diploma mills.
Yeah, exactly. And think about new models of education. Blockchain could help build peer-to-peer learning platforms. Students could connect with, experts and mentors from anywhere. It could break down those traditional barriers of, classrooms and institutions.
This is starting to sound like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Haha, it is pretty mind-blowing. And that's what makes crypto so fascinating. It's not just the tech. It's about how that tech could, change the world in ways we can't even imagine yet.
Okay, so back to Coinbase. Are they the ones who are going to lead this whole, crypto-powered future?
It's hard to say. Too early to tell, really. They're a major player, that's for sure. And they've been very good at adapting and innovating. But remember, crypto, it's competitive. New players are popping up all the time.
It's like a digital gold rush. Everyone wants a piece.
That's a good analogy. And like those gold rushes, some will win big, others will, strike out.
Well, I think we've covered a lot in this deep dive. Coinbase's financials, the lawsuit, and, the bigger picture. But it's just the tip of the iceberg, really.
Yeah, it's a big iceberg.
It is.
The crypto story's still being written, and next chapter I think is going to be even more exciting and potentially even more disruptive.
Well, that's exciting and a little bit scary
Yeah.
to our listeners. Thanks for joining us. Stay curious, stay informed, and maybe, you'll be a part of writing that next chapter. Until next time, keep diving deep.